Caitlin Clark and
I'm a fan.
Angel Reese, right?
Yeah.
They're going back and
I'm a
forth.
fan of both.
And Jamil Hill says by the time Angel Reese is done, she's going to be the Michael Jordan of WNBA.
She said about Angel Reese?
She said Angel Reese, by the time she retires, can you pull up this quote? She said, by the time she retires, she will be the MJ.
Once crowned as the WNBA's next Michael Jordan, Angel Reese now stands on shaky ground as one underwhelming stat line after another chips away at that bold promise. 4 points. That number keeps echoing louder than any highlight clip or pre-game runway strut. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark, iced up on the sidelines, holds the league spotlight without even stepping onto the hardwood. This isn't the fierce back-and-forth rivalry fans were sold. It's one star carrying headlines from a bench, while the other fights to prove the shine wasn't just for social media.
It's not about black and white. It's about that white player and that black player. Why? Because of the history that they had before they came to the WNBA. You see, it was all instigated. If Angel Reese was never in Caitlin Clark's face, taunting her the way that she did when they mimicking what Caitlin Clark was doing to numerous opponents en route to the Final Four, and then Angel Reese and LSU bust their living, you know what, at that particular moment in time, and Angel Reese was in her face chirping at her the way that she did, it would have never gotten to this point.
Even diehard supporters are running out of excuses when the scoreboard tells a truth that filters and flair can't disguise. So the real question now isn't about team rivalries or buzzer beaters. It's whether Angel can transform her bounds into real dominance before the hype fizzles for good. Anyone watching with popcorn in hand should comment, "Fire the baby giraffe," below if another viral blooper feels inevitable. Smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications because this story is far from over and every twist deserves front row seats.
First of all, it's not a rivalry. Not when you lose about 35 points.
That's true.
It's not rivalry. Indiana Fever's on a different level than the Chicago Sky. Let's get that out the way. Secondly, as much as we love Angel Reese because she is special, she's not Caitlin Clark as a player. Caitlin Clark is on a different level. We just have to own that.
Before professional contracts, sold-out arenas, and viral triple-doubles, Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark carved out a college rivalry that fed a media machine hungry for a new women's basketball spectacle. The image of Reese standing over Clark, taunting in the NCAA championship, became a meme and a rallying cry all at once. Half the country called it swagger, the other half screamed disrespect. That single moment stitched together a narrative. Two young stars destined to collide for years, raising the WNBA's profile with every hard foul and stare down. Headlines called it the rivalry that would bring the league a new golden age.
Most fans were excited to see Caitlin Clark and Indiana Fever take on Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky. The game was a blowout as the Fever beat down Chicago 93-58, with Clark's triple-double leading the way. But the biggest headline coming out of the game on Saturday is the investigation the WNBA is conducting into allegations of hateful fan comments directed at Angel Reese. It happened after this play when Clark slapped at the ball after Reese grabbed an offensive rebound.
Talk shows dissected every smirk and side eye. Sponsors salivated at the drama, branding Reese as the fearless villain and Clark as the unstoppable shooter. Yet, as rookie seasons unfolded, reality exposed cracks that no slick highlight edit could patch. Clark kept rewriting stat books even on off nights, while Reese's production turned into a curious mix of fierce rebounding and invisible scoring.
Angel Reese, part 38, let's get it!
Life throws her lemons, she makes bricks.
Bang!
PSA to anyone watching, she is right-handed. Right-handed, by the way. She missed the rim by 3 feet, man.
Bang!
I gotta say, this is my favorite summer sitcom. Pecan? Butter pecan?
Bang!
Here's a stat. She's been blocked 20 times, and she's only made 21 hoops.
What? Bang!
Fans who once replayed college clips now scroll box scores in disbelief. The dream clash that sold jerseys and tickets so easily back then feels lopsided under the harsh lights of pro basketball. And still, both names keep the cameras rolling, but for all the wrong reasons. What started as a rivalry is fast becoming a one-sided masterclass. Next up, the gap in raw performance that's forcing Chicago to rethink its entire game plan.
Because I was calling it from day one. You got people that are resentful towards her. But it's really not about her, guys. It's about what she represents. Before she ever came along, there were a lot of outstanding, basketball players who happen to be black females that was doing their thing on the WNBA level. And they never got this kind of shit.
Angel Reese stormed out of LSU, riding a wave of confidence few dared question. Every highlight dunk, every flex at midcourt, every viral press conference built her into a figure who seemed bigger than the sport itself. The moniker Bayou Barbie wasn't just catchy branding. It felt like a prophecy for the next unstoppable force on the hardwood. College defenders bounced off her energy as easily as they did her screams. Double-doubles were routine, taunts were legendary, and the crown she wore felt earned with every NCAA broadcast shouting her name. But the college game has a way of spoiling stars, and the WNBA spares none when hype outruns skill adjustments. Straight from a championship run, Reese dove into a rookie pro schedule with no break, no reset, and no mercy from seasoned veterans waiting to test her mettle. The rebounds still come, 12, 15, even 17 in a single outing. Yet buckets vanish like smoke the moment the paint gets crowded. Meanwhile, clips of air balls and wild misses overshadow those hustle boards. Fashion statements still trend on social feeds, but box scores read like a missing persons report for her offense. Teammates hustle for extra possessions, only to see possessions end with clang layups or timid shot choices. What was once unstoppable swagger now echoes a truth even her fiercest defenders can't spin. Pro defenders don't care about old highlight reels. They only respect numbers that win games. And Reese, for all her hustle, is falling short of that cold standard.
I'll elaborate a little bit more on that in just a second, but before I do that, I want to ask you your thoughts about apparently some racial animus that was thrown in the direction of Angel Reese. The Chicago Sky have gotten involved, talking about they're going to protect their players at all costs. The WNBA has issued a statement saying it abhors and discourages hate of any kind, etc., etc. Your thoughts about it? Here's the WNBA statement. The WNBA strongly condemns racism, hate, and discrimination in all forms. They have no place in our league or in society. We are aware of the allegations and are looking into the matter. Your thoughts about that element of all of this, where you believe it emanates from, and do you think it will ever subside?
What comes next is the moment many insiders dread, when the crowd's patience gives way to cold questions about minutes, rotations, and wasted possessions. Every hopeful headline and motivational quote plastered across Angel Reese's social media can't bury the one thing that never lies: the stat sheet. When the spotlight hit hardest, her box score whispered back a grim reality: 4 points in nearly 30 minutes of floor time. That's not the resume of a player crowned as the Michael Jordan of the WNBA. That's the output of a role player hanging on by hustle alone.
Oh, man. The latter part of that, Stephen A., is quite the thing to think on. I think when you go back to the impetus of the rivalry that we have between Caitlin and Angel Reese, I remember funny clips on the internet.
Another diabolical stat. She's 19 of 59 from less than 5 feet away. How about that, man? Dang. She should work at housekeeping for hotels because she could turn it over quickly. Lost by 27, scored only 4 points against the Indiana Fever. I mentioned no Caitlin Clark, no problem, give and go. Given no shot of working. Bang!
You prefer car or plane?
Car or plane for what? For how you want to travel! That's too many steps in. You can't do that. Bang!
Dig deeper and the trend gets worse. Over 20 blocked shots this season, but barely 20 made baskets from point-blank range. Layups clanging off iron, free throws bricked like open gym misfires, all while defenders stand unfazed by her once intimidating presence. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark racks up triple-doubles, sets rookie records, and controls the entire pace of games from the bench, drawing 2 defenders even in warm-ups. Fans who once defended every missed shot now argue online about hidden impact, desperate to shift blame from the ugly numbers glaring on the scoreboard. The reality hits harder than any foul. Rebounds alone can't mask a scoring drought this severe.
I have yet to see a single example of Angel Reese being a leader. Outside of rebounding her own missed layups, what does Angel Reese do? What is her contribution? You tell me, because I'm not seeing it. I know I'm harsh on Angel Reese, but she considers herself a star. If you're going to call yourself a star, I expect you to perform like a star, especially in big moments. Caitlin Clark was injured. Angel Reese was the only star on the court last night, and for 27 minutes, she completely disappeared.
Every viral meme poking fun at her missed layups chips away at the myth. When social media starts chuckling instead of chanting, a brand built on dominance starts to crumble fast. And as those tweets multiply, so do whispers in the front office about whether patience has run its course. Next, tension behind closed doors and the coaching headaches that come when a franchise star can't carry the weight promised on draft night.
Caitlin Clark's or Angel Reese's popularity in large part is attributed to her behavior towards Caitlin Clark, because when Caitlin Clark was busy taunting opponents a couple of years back before LSU smacked Iowa around in the national championship game or so, it was Angel Reese that was clapping back at Caitlin Clark once it was Caitlin Clark's turn to have her comeuppance. And that's what made Angel Reese famous. Now, Angel Reese experienced vitriol thereafter. It was tough for her to deal with, as she articulated.
Behind the courtside smiles and polished press quotes, the Chicago Sky's locker room carries a tension that rebounds can't erase. Teammates put in the extra sprints, contest shots, and box out taller opponents only to watch crucial possessions drift away when Angel Reese struggles to finish at the rim. Every missed bunny or awkward turnover piles silent frustration on a roster already fighting for chemistry in a brutal league.
Well, there's a lot of reaction coming in from last night's drubbing, destruction, annihilation, cremation, whatever you want to call it, roasting, sauteed, whatever your form of cooking may be. But the Indiana Fever absolutely dismantled the Chicago Sky.
The coaching staff, led by Tyler Marsh, tries every chess move possible to unlock her hidden potential, shifting her from power forward to a small ball center, experimenting with her as a roaming wing, even designing simple pick-and-roll plays she once thrived on at LSU. But basketball doesn't care for creative diagrams when fundamentals vanish in traffic. Reports leak that some veterans quietly question why a rookie with so little scoring production still eats up prime rotation minutes. For Marsh and the front office, this is the nightmare scenario, a face of the franchise drawing eyeballs but not putting points on the board, forcing the bench to pick up scoring slack while juggling lineup politics. Practices run long as the staff drills footwork and finishing, yet the disconnect lingers when the lights come on. Inside film rooms, repeated clips of missed shots from 5 feet away play like a grim highlight reel no one wants to admit exists. The whispered question now echoes beyond the locker room walls. How much longer before hustle stops excusing inefficiency? Next up, the uncomfortable truth that branding only lasts as long as the box score shines and Angel's spotlight is dimming fast.
There's only women that get this. I'm tired of it. Like, here's my thing, you guys. What else? Who are these girls? Who are these girls that are hating on Caitlin Clark? Are you just combing through Twitter? What else are these women supposed to do? Fawn over her? Fangirl over her? Bend the fucking knee, kiss the ring. Like, what do you want from them? We cannot every time the girl plays a game. She got 40 games, guys. She got 35 more games. We are not every single game gonna revisit and retread this same tired ass rhetoric that all these girls are hating on her, and they need to be thankful they have been.
For months, Angel Reese's image has been a marketing department's dream. The Bayou Barbie nickname, the unapologetic confidence, the lashes, the nails, the social clips that rack up millions of views. Every piece crafted a narrative too good to question. Brands lined up to plaster her face on billboards and social ads, banking on a blend of charisma and perceived dominance to sell jerseys and shoe deals. College fans remembered the crown she wore at LSU and wanted that same defiance stamped on pro basketball highlight reels. The trouble is, sponsors can't cash rebounds alone.
What an outfit Angel Reese was rocking. She put a lot of time, a lot of effort into making sure her ensemble was on point. Are my boots matching my jacket? Are my gloves matching my hat? Angel Reese put in tons of time for this outfit, which begs the question, does Angel Reese put in more time in her outfits for the pre-game catwalk, or does she put in more time to actually get better at the game?
Brands crave viral moments that end with a scoreboard advantage, not a TikTok clip of a spin move followed by a missed layup. The contrast between the glittering pre-game walk and the silent scoreboard has grown too obvious to spin away. Even the most loyal fans can't point to game-changing buckets to defend what the promo posters promise. Each night, Angel Reese steps onto the court dressed for the cameras, but the game demands more than wardrobe and swagger. It demands shots that fall and defenders forced to adjust. Right now, defenders barely flinch. It's a cruel truth that the WNBA's harshest critics never need to highlight. The numbers do the talking. The league wants stars, but stars must earn the title every quarter. While Reese's social feed stays undefeated, the score columns keep telling a story that no filter can hide.
Goose comes along, and she wreaks havoc. She's the Rookie of the Year. She's 4th in the league in MVP voting. 4th in the league, her rookie year.
Wow.
Outstanding. She's like Steph Curry. She can pull up from anywhere. You understand? She has that kind of capability. Didn't win a national championship. Lost to LSU one year. Lost to South Carolina another year. But she's outstanding and clearly worthy of being the #1 overall pick. And what I was saying to everybody is ride the wave. Rising tide lifts all boats.
And soon, even the biggest brands will pivot to the next breakout sensation if the stats keep choking the spotlight. Coming up, the biggest threat yet, Caitlin Clark's looming return, ready to expose every gap Angels branding can't protect. Caitlin Clark, the rookie phenom sidelined with an injury, hasn't played a minute in weeks, yet still dominates league chatter in post-game interviews, highlight reels, and social trends. Even wrapped in ice on the bench, she remains the WNBA's main event, overshadowing games she physically doesn't touch.
Balled at Iowa in college. She's balled since she's been in the NBA. She came into the league last year with no break whatsoever between the college game and the pro game and did her thing. Ended up as an all-star, ended up being 4th in the league in MVP voting, was the clear winner for Rookie of the Year. No competition whatsoever in that regard when it was really all said and done. We know what she brings to the table.
Behind the scenes, trainers clear timelines, fans mark calendars, and broadcasters salivate at the inevitable comeback that promises record ratings and fresh clips of deep freeze and no-look assists. For Angel Reese, this storm brewing on the schedule isn't just about another opponent stepping back on the court. It's about the return of the player who makes every weakness harder to hide. Once Clark's minutes climb back to normal, the gap in offensive firepower stretches into daylight for everyone to see. One generates points out of thin air and forces defenses to panic. The other battles for rebounds, but leaves possessions unfinished. The truth is blunt. Clark's triple-doubles highlight just how unbalanced this so-called rivalry has become. When that comeback happens, and it will, every 4-point night from Reese gets magnified under a national lens starved for storylines.
Actually feel bad for Angel Reese at this point, and it has nothing to do with like how she's handled herself or anything. It's just simply Caitlin Clark is so much better than Angel Reese at basketball that it doesn't feel fair.
Yeah, I think Angel Reese is struggling with the fact that Caitlin Clark is better at her best thing than she is.
But she's better at everything.
And
she had a triple-double. She's tied for the 3rd most triple-doubles in WNBA history, and she's played 50 games.
Coaches will have tougher conversations about rotations. Teammates will quietly angle for lineups that convert hustle into points, not just highlight boards. And front offices will reconsider which jersey moves merchandise and which box score moves wins. The clock isn't just ticking for Reese to find her offensive rhythm. It's counting down to when Clark makes her return the headline, leaving little room for excuses or marketing spin to drown out a cold stat line. Next, a final verdict on this rivalry's future and the choice Angel Reese must make before the league writes the ending for her.
Unfortunately, it comes with the crown.
I got to push back on you a little bit.
Okay.
I think you're being a little bit too PC. Let's call it what it is. I am not trying to say that she should be criticized or she is wrong. What I'm saying is by pulling it down, clearly you felt there was something wrong with it. Now, yes, you are 22. Yes, you are young. And there's a lot of things that we didn't want people to know about when we were her age. Fair enough, especially me, okay? Because I'm 30 plus years removed from that age. I got that part. There was no social media then or whatever. But here's my point to you. She knows there's social media. She is not dumb.
The story that once sparkled like a marketing goldmine has now split into a harsh reality and a dwindling myth. Angel Reese, crowned in college as the bold voice and rival to Caitlin Clark's polished dominance, stands at a crossroads that the WNBA rarely allows to linger. This league demands proof of worth on every possession, and so far, Reese's claim to stardom teeters on rebounds and attitude rather than scoreboard impact. The internet still loves her walk-ins. The brand deals still cling to the Bayou Barbie aura, but brands turn fickle when their poster child pulls more memes than clutch shots. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark's ankle heals, her minutes inch closer to full throttle, and the arena buzz waits for another triple-double to push the narrative back where it started, with Clark as the unstoppable force and Reese fighting to stay relevant.
Robinson of the WNBA will be Caitlin Clark. If she stays healthy, there's a group of them that would hope for her to be out. But
why do you say she's going to be the Jackie Robinson of the WNBA?
Well,
it's not like she's the first white girl.
She's not the first white girl, but she's the first white superstar at the levels where she's scoring these, the threes she's shooting. She's like a Steph Curry. She's the first actual superstar that people care. When's the last time we watched like college basketball? If I told you, tell me the greatest college female basketball players last 30 years, and you watch I know her, she's our meat, but you look at some of these names, you see some of these people on how they do.
Every pass, every missed layup, every awkward turnover now carries weight far beyond a single game. This isn't a college highlight tape replaying forever. This is a pro league where fresh rookies wait in the wings, hungry to snatch minutes from yesterday's headline. If Reese can't adjust, can't break the scoring slump, and turn rebounds into buckets, she risks becoming the WNBA's cautionary tale, the almost icon who sold tickets but not victories. Fans who once bought into the hype now ask tougher questions, not about outfits or pre-game quotes, but about production. Is there a turning point hidden inside the next game? Or is the final chapter already written in the stat lines, haunting every post-game press scrum? For those still hoping this rivalry reignites, one truth remains: the court never lies, and the scoreboard shows no mercy. Anyone ready to see if Angel Reese turns doubters into believers or fuels the next viral meltdown should comment, fire the baby giraffe one last time below. Smash the like, subscribe, and tap the bell because this saga guarantees another twist before it's done.